Katrina couples. Wow, what an amazing story. Oh, I mean, I've heard a lot myself just from knowing you. Over how many years?
I think we've been about maybe 5 or 6 years now.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
I know, eh?
You
It
have
seems
changed so much.
right.
No,
like
like for real.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you don't believe in God, if you know my story, how can you not believe in God? Eh?
Yeah, cool. Cool.
I don't know how many times, like maybe this will be all over the place, but how many times you're like,
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm out.
Yes.
Like early on,
Yeah.
not so
Yeah,
much
yeah,
in
yeah.
the last 2 years, but
Probably
Hey.
about 5 times, eh?
hey,
Yeah.
hard.
For sure, like
Yeah.
legit leaving the church. Yeah. Did you know that, Sam?
I know of one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember
no.
one.
yeah.
I remember one because I think you told me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
What do you
I'm like,
mean?
this time
This
probably,
time.
bro.
Yeah, and I was like,
I'm
"No."
like, oh man.
You weren't like, oh, here we go again.
No, not here we go again. Like it's always sad.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it's true.
Yeah, no, it is true because when I was like,
Yeah.
"No,"
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like, oh
yeah, I
man.
thought it was real.
Because I was thinking about the kids as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, and
Not
Sam was
just-
running youth then. So,
yes,
Was it something that I did?
yeah,
probably.
absolutely.
Oh.
100%
Yeah,
it would
nah,
have been.
totally. It's all about.
Yeah,
it's
knowing
all
you,
about-
I reckon you contribute to at least
Yeah.
half of those two.
Oh no!
Hey, but
My-
we're still here, so
Oh,
clearly
that's
it
true.
wasn't too
Marsh
bad.
shelters me from all the people that leave chapel because of me. Eh? He doesn't tell me.
We laugh. We
Yeah.
laugh. It's good we can laugh now.
Yeah, it's funny now.
Oh.
Like I actually, like, Paulie gives me a rough time about it.
Yeah.
Bro, people give me a hard time about it now, but it is funny now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you was like, I'm not putting words in your mouth because we all, in a sense, broken, but you were really broken, eh?
So broken.
Like shattered.
So broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Beyond
Yeah.
broken, eh? Like, yeah. And I think that's why I'm like, have a little bit of a laugh when I think about some of
Yeah.
the things I do now or say now. And I'm just like, if you'd known me better, it's just like a little like, I mean, not many people know
no.
the then and the now. A lot of people just know me now. But,
Are we cool to go to then?
yeah, let's go there.
Awesome.
Let's go there.
Because this
Lead the
is
way.
This is God's.
Yeah.
Like everyone's God's journey, and He's pursued people. But man, the devil was out to destroy you
Yeah. I
From
feel like
when
he
you-
did, eh?
from when you were young. Like just
Yeah.
cut you
Yeah.
off from hope or anything.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
You start where you want to. Because you start where you want.
Yeah. I think when I came to chapel, and this is, all the way from before now, if that even makes sense, but just hated everybody. And that stemmed from hating myself,
Wow.
So no trust, no relationships, no nothing really. Nothing at all.
Everyone's a hypocrite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's fake.
Yeah.
People are just full of crap. Oh, can I say that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Just no trust. I think no trust meant nothing. So I didn't get close to anybody. I didn't believe anybody. But I later learnt that all stemmed from myself. I didn't like me. I didn't trust me. I didn't have hope in me. I didn't, so it was hard to.
But that's because you'd been smashed and smashed.
Yeah.
And smashed.
Yeah. So, raised by a single mum. So the "you're not good enough" lie was deposited really young.
Wow.
Really young, and then everything that happened in my life just confirmed that lie, and it built upon it. So that just got bigger and bigger and became more true and real.
What was the lie again?
Not good enough. Just not
You're-
good enough.
wow.
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I wasn't good enough for my dad to stick around, and then I wasn't good at, like, that just continued on throughout, and then I had failed relationships myself with the girls' dads, and that confirmed that, so just everything. And then because I didn't have trust with anybody, or I didn't, or every relationship that broke down confirmed that lie. that I wasn't good enough. Everything that happened in my life confirmed that lie.
And then I suppose how that plays out is something goes wrong with your car or your house, or I'm not good enough. So that's just a default.
100%. And then when you think that, when you think you're not good enough, you make different choices in your life.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Even
you live differently.
Yeah. Even how you are living.
Yes.
Is you're pushing people away. Which then you're reiterating, and it's just a vicious circle.
And I wouldn't do any, like it just, the choices that I made because that was the way I was thinking continued to confirm that I wasn't good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah, totally a vicious circle. A vicious circle. That I just believed I was never, like, this is who I was, I believed. I was never getting out of this.
Okay. God at all? Anywhere?
Yes. Yep. So I think I was about 20, in my early 20s, when I joined the Mormon church. I think you guys know that.
Right.
Because I was like, there's got to be, I think the missionaries came around and they were talking about God and I got a little bit of hope, okay, there's something.
Okay. Is that your first contact with a sense of God?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mid-20s?
About 22 or 3.
Okay, just at home?
Yep, just at home.
And then someone...
Knock. The missionaries come around.
And your first interaction with God?
Yeah.
With
God.
God.
So they turned up and they're like, can we preach the gospel? And I'm like, but as they talked, and they'd come around, I think maybe once a week. Like I was on their schedule or something. I was like, oh, maybe there is something better than, like, I just got a little bit hopeful. And so joined the Mormon church and then failed. And so back to the lie.
How long were you in the Mormon church?
Probably about 3 years.
Okay.
About 3 years.
How far deep into it did you go?
Well, not very far because it's, there were a lot of rules.
Yeah.
A lot of rules. And I failed them. I didn't.
So, okay. God, you're still not good enough.
100%. Because now I'm in the church and I'm, like you're not good enough in the world, but when you're not good enough in the church, you're not good enough,
Yeah,
like that just confirmed, solidified that I wasn't good enough.
How many kids did you have when you were that age?
Just one.
Okay.
And so, sorry, whilst I had Ojan,
then
joined the church, and having Ojan, that kind of made me be like, oh, there's got to be more. I don't want her to be like me.
Yeah.
There's got to be something else in life. Whilst I was in the Mormon church, I had Ayla.
Yeah.
And so I've got 2 kids now, 2 failed relationships, and failed in...
What did the Mormons say about that?
Yeah, that you were a big failure,
Yeah,
because
okay.
you don't do that.
Do they want you to leave, or they're keen to help?
Yeah, no, I didn't have to leave because I was repentant, I guess. But there's a whole heap of, conditions to my membership.
Right.
Yeah. Like I couldn't do anything. I had to sit in a certain place, and I had to, I couldn't pray, or I couldn't talk,
Sit in a place where all those other people sat.
Yeah.
Like you.
Like me.
Wow.
Like me.
That
and everybody knew,
That would have been a pretty full section.
Yeah.
Was it a full section?
Because they weren't there anymore.
They were there. No, there's me and another girl.
Really?
Wow.
It's funny now, but it was
humiliating.
It's
savage.
Yeah, it's savage.
It
it's
is savage.
And everybody knew that's where they sat, Like, it wasn't posted, but everybody knew.
Yeah.
And they used to have, sacrament communion, and we weren't allowed to take that. So when it got passed around, we weren't allowed to take it. And so then if you didn't already know from where we were sitting, you knew from then, because you weren't allowed to take it.
How could you get out of that section?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. That's a good question.
Oh, you just, the bishop, they have bishops, that he would just say that's where you have to sit. Oh, how did I eventually get out?
No. How would you
upgrade?
How would you upgrade to be good enough for the sacrament, good enough for the
it was
next
up to
section?
him. It was up to the bishop. So he would
you prove yourself.
You prove yourself. Well, and I think it was just a couple of months, and then I was allowed to. I had to turn up to every Sunday. I had to turn up to every Wednesday. They had a Wednesday meeting, and then they were like, "Okay, yeah, you can go now." I can't really remember the details of it. All I remember is that.
That makes sense.
Because you weren't allowed to do anything. Like I wasn't allowed to pray publicly. I wasn't allowed to. I literally wasn't allowed to do anything, and so it was just up to him when he was like, "Okay, I think
you've proven yourself.
I think she's good now," and
she's good enough.
She's good enough. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so 3 years, and then you sort of just drifted away from that, or
no? I went to. I had Honey.
Yeah.
My youngest
you
baby.
don't have to say the name.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The
I had my youngest child.
No, you don't have to say the name of the.
Of the church. Yeah, I just went to a Happy Clappy church.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, her baby was getting dedicated.
Nice.
And so we went along, and it was like smoke machines, mosh pit type of stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I remember thinking, I dropped the little girls off to kids church, and they had come in to the service, and I was like, oh, I better go get them because we are not used to any of this, and they'll be really scared. And so I went down to get them, and they were in the mosh pit, like.
They were.
Yeah.
Of course they were.
They were like, I don't know, 5 and 7 or something like that. Anyway, I was like, oh.
Yeah, of course.
And so they, after church, they came and they're like, Mom, can we come back here? This is so fun. And I was like, no, we go to church. We have our own church. And then Ojan said to me, so she was like 7, and she said to me, Mum, did you know that Jesus loves us? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I thought we just had to love him. So this is what she had learned at the Mormon church. And I was like, we need to move.
Right.
Because she had only been taught for whatever reason, like she's a little girl, but that she just had to love Jesus, but didn't realize that he loved her. And she learned that in one service at this smoke mosh pit church.
Awesome.
I love
so
that.
we went there.
Yeah.
I love that. That's Ojan, eh?
That's
Mum, did you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we moved. Yeah, we moved. And that was really hard because I had just, the whole not good enough. Oh, you failed here. And, all of that.
That's why you're moving there, because you failed.
Yeah, because you failed here and, rah. And then I'd built relationships here, although they weren't very healthy. They were still...
The one other person in the naughty area.
Naughty corner.
We were best friends. And so it was going to this new space.
That's foreign.
Completely foreign, with all my stuff again.
Foreign.
Yeah.
Were you brought up in New Zealand?
Yes. Yeah.
For how long were you in New Zealand until you came here?
I came here when I was in my 33. Yeah, I'm 40 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have you only been here 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're in the Mormon church in
Wellington.
In Wellington, in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were a Mormon church here.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
Okay. And then
Mormon church, and then
Happy Clappy church.
A big church in Wellington.
In Wellington.
Yeah, one of the biggest.
So how long did you end up going there for?
Oh, again about another 3-ish years. Yeah, and it was good. I learned a lot there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So what brought you over here?
Just wanted to do something different.
Okay.
Yeah. I was failing there. So come here and fail here. Nah.
I'm going to move me.
Yeah, move me.
It's the environment 100%. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was my mindset.
Oh, but it's the good reason. Fresh everything.
Yeah. Get away from all of that.
Yeah.
Just go there and everything will be different.
Yeah.
That's what I believed, 100%. Yeah.
So, came here.
Yeah.
Clappy Church still?
Yep, Clappy Church.
Okay, cool.
So connections from the big Clappy Church in Wellington.
Yeah. I want names.
So big, massive church in Wellington. The connections came here.
So in 3 years, like this is new to you. This is new to you.
The Clappy Church?
Yeah. Yeah. So God, Jesus, salvation is still very new. Yeah,
really new. And although it was a completely different church, there was still an element of you're not good enough, because there was a culture in this church.
Yeah.
And if you didn't weren't a part of the it crew, and look, it probably wasn't like that. That was just my I'm not saying this is how it was. This was my mindset with my deficit thinking. Good. There was a culture.
So you didn't fit in.
I didn't fit in.
But I didn't fit in. You loved it, but you didn't fit in.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Definitely enjoyed it.
The kids
enjoyed it, which is why I went, because the kids loved it. They learned lots about Jesus. Yeah. They enjoyed going to church. Right. And for me, that was half the battle. They hated going to Mormon church, hated it. So they, get up on Sunday, we're going to church. Yeah, and so as a mum, I'm like, okay, cool. Half the battle over, let's go. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. That was good, but I still didn't fit in. Wasn't good enough for this crowd either.
In your mind. And then
in my mind.
And then you came over here, same thing.
Same thing, not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And what cooked it? What
does that mean?
Like you got fried.
At the church here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to. It was a new church. It was a church plant. So, all hands on deck. And, I'd come from 2 big churches.
Right.
Didn't really matter. I didn't really do anything. Coming to a church plant, everybody mattered. Yeah. And so that's where I found my worth, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because I mattered, because I was needed
on the team.
Totally. Yeah. And because I was doing that in my strength, and look, I didn't know this at the time.
No.
I know this, but okay. At the time I'm doing everything in my strength and thinking, and it's just fueling my flesh, just feeding my flesh, being in this church plant. I'm cool, I'm worthy, I'm something. And then I just got grind, like serving week after week after week after week after week with no discipleship or no anything. Just the expectation was here, but the level of support was here. And so that's not sustainable.
Right.
And I burnt out, I had a breakdown, got massive depression, and So again, I failed.
Must be you.
100%. I failed again, massively, hugely, and then.
So where's God for yourself in this? So it sounds like you're relying on a structure and a program.
Yeah.
Where's your own
nowhere
walk with the Lord?
So and obviously this is all talking in retrospect, talking backwards, but I now know that I knew about God when I was 23, 22, but I met him when I was like 29.
Wow.
Oh no, when did I meet him? When I came here. I met him when I was like 33, whatever.
Wow.
When I came to chapel. Yeah.
So what's the difference? What did that mean? What does that mean?
Meeting him?
Yeah.
Well,
because
I was introduced to him.
You've done a lot. Served,
Yeah.
You've done a lot.
Yeah, but it was, I think, well, the expectation at chapel is that you sort out your own relationship with God, right? And I'd never had that before. I was always told, this is how you have a relationship with God. Or actually, it wasn't even about that. It was about, we just got to serve. We just got to serve. You've got to be here at 6 and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I think we were so busy serving that we didn't have time to, or not time, maybe, I'm not sure why I didn't meet him before this time.
I was going to say there was never a requirement for you to, but
it was a lot of outside stuff. It was of how you looked and how a lot of emphasis on the outward appearance, and showing up and doing this and doing that. And as a leader in the church here, the church plant, we don't show our weaknesses, and that's not leadership. And so I think just different ideas of leadership. So I couldn't show all the weaknesses or that I was struggling or ask for help, because that's not what the leaders did. And if I wasn't a leader, I wasn't anything. Like that was my thinking.
Yeah, right.
And so I wasn't.
Again, this can be even unspoken expectation.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's not even necessarily
100%. Yeah,
it's just
it was
your
never
own.
ever said.
Yeah.
It was.
Just
I'm a part of this thing. I'm a part of this. I belong. And I just wanted it. I didn't care.
Yeah,
I didn't care. I just was like, I'd do anything. And so I hid a lot of stuff, and I wasn't honest or wasn't. I had seen people who were honest with their stuff, and they had been set aside. Okay, well, you need to take care of yourself, and you can't serve. And so probably done in a lovingly way.
Sure.
It was probably that's a true reflection. You need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But I saw that as
failure.
Yeah. I don't want to be sitting in the corner again in the back section again, I've done that before. I don't want to do
together, Katrina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even if it's not together, just keep it like it looks
I'm
like
good,
it's together.
I'm good.
Yeah, 100%, because that was feeding my flesh and my ego of I mean something.
Have you always been a leader?
No.
From when you're in school? Oh, Katrina,
no.
Lead this. Katrina, do
Are
that.
you sure?
No.
Because
wow.
like I don't know Honey that well, but I know your other two daughters, and they are both thugs. They'll lead a room. Like this.
I've always had a desire to, like I've always like, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But
maybe you were just never given I don't know. Maybe you're just never given the right opportunity.
What was your upbringing like?
What do you mean?
Siblings.
So I've got 2 younger siblings.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my mum.
Yeah.
And just 2
I've
younger.
got 2 younger siblings, and they used to do everything I'd tell them to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's leadership.
Yeah.
Got that done.
Yeah, got them good.
Primary school?
Yeah. What do you mean?
What school is it?
I went to a number of schools in Wellington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We moved a lot.
Oh, okay.
So that was part of the not good enough.
And then why build friendships if you're just going to move?
Yeah.
So you sort of get used to your own company?
Oh.
Or just can't be bothered?
Probably the truth is I probably didn't have the skills to do it.
Okay.
Because we moved so much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
and then...
That sucks.
When did you leave home?
Oh, man, I was young. I was probably about 17 when I left home. That's young. Like I've got children now, and I think... that is young.
Yeah,
that's young. So I was 17 when I left home. Didn't have a very good relationship with my mum.
Yeah.
Really bad, so...
Okay, so you're happy to go. You were happy to...
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just cut your own track. With what you knew. With what I knew, which wasn't good, and just bad after bad. Sorry, I don't know, I'm laughing.
Yeah. That's fair, cool.
No, yeah, just all on my own, trying to be cool, trying to be strong and tough, and trying to prove to everybody that I could do it, that I was something, totally that mindset.
But probably inside just screaming.
Dying, crying.
Oh.
Yeah. So broken.
That's so, as hard as this is to say, that's so common, eh?
For our young people?
Yeah.
That's why my heart breaks for that, because I'm just like, yeah.
But what's interesting is it sounds like you didn't have much of an opportunity where someone was like, hey, sit down, look at your walk. You don't have to do anything here. Your value's not in what you do. Your value's not in all this. Your value is in you and Jesus. Like, what is that?
None of that. Yeah,
until until 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I think what's rare is a lot of people, they're given those opportunities and they are like, or no, sorry, not that, but they're like, hey, come on, work on yourself, do this, and they run from it. Where was it not till 7 years ago that you feel like you actually were given that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
100%.
See, that
was the difference. I had people say, well, I think I learnt about unconditional love was the difference.
Yeah.
That was the difference. You know, people were like, yeah, you're a mess. We see that. But we're not leaving. And although the people weren't always there, they were always here. Sometimes here, but never not there. So.
And were those times where you wanted to leave more your own self-preservation, like?
Yes. 100%.
Instead of these people are going to fail me. These people are going to let me down. So I'll take charge and I'll move out myself.
Yeah.
Is that sort of
100%? And it was when people started to get a little bit closer, I would freak out and go, "Oh, as soon as they get close to me, they're gonna figure out who I am, who I actually am."
Phony.
Yeah, and just like everybody else does, and then they'll go too.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay. So when I'd feel that, so the times when I was leaving, all those times, it was when people were getting around me. And I'd be like,
they're going to see stuff.
They're going to see stuff. They're going to, you know.
But Katrina, they've always seen stuff.
I know, but you don't know this, eh? Like, you don't know this.
Oh, but you know, like you know and you don't know, you know? Like it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but you think, you know, I thought that I would, you know, you're always waiting for it to happen. It's happened my whole life. I'm always waiting for it to happen again, you know? So.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah. You're always waiting for it to happen again, but. Like, what's shifted, though? Because you're not waiting for that to happen again.
Yeah.
Well, I met Jesus.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Come on, man.
No. You did.
After that?
No, but you did. But you still, even with Christ, you were still at times wanting to run away.
Yes.
So what?
Because when I met him, you know the night actually it was the night at your house with you two.
In Merrimack?
Yes.
Oh,
that was the night that changed my life. 100%.
Oh, wow, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, for sure.
Yeah. That was the night. And, of course, I didn't know that then. Probably about a year later that I was like, oh, that was the night.
But, you know, after that, Sammy and I were like, man, something just happened. Like crazy.
Wow.
And I even... hits me now because you and your girls have always meant a lot to me, even though I can be a bit of a D, you know?
Even it can be you.
Yeah. But so we felt that, and then even after that, some stuff just started happening.
I feel like that was the night that the door opened. Looking back, like I didn't obviously identify it then,
and Jesus fully came in.
Yeah. Well, then, like I just feel like the door was opened. Nice. And then it was probably about a year of...
maybe everything came out.
Stuff. Yeah. And then from there just...
Because I don't... was that because you... Did that happen because you... Sorry,
didn't know who I was?
No, because you shared some stuff. You were like...
Yes. I think it happened because I surrendered to him who I thought I was. I don't know if you remember, but Rochelle had said, who you think you are, give it to him. And I was like, he knows who I am. I just thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever. And I'm like, he knows who I am. And she's like, just who you think you are, give it to him. So I'm like, oh, whatever, okay. And she was so persistent. She's like, no, you haven't done it. And I'm like, I've done it. She's like, no, you haven't. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I hadn't because I thought it was silly.
Yeah.
Because I'd been this person for 30 whatever years,
4 years, 35 years.
And so I was just like,
Wow.
Anyway, I did it because I was just like, whatever. And I just, everything that I thought I was, I surrendered it to him. And then I think because, like, I'm looking back now and I'm like, oh, that's what happened. Because I surrendered who I thought I was to him, then he was able to go, right, now I'm going to tell you who you are,
Yeah.
And then he did. And then that was the journey of, I guess, finding my identity in Christ. And that changed. Everything. Like, that is, before that night and after that night is kind of,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's the power of moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the power of moments.
That was my moment.
Get in the environment. Get in the place. I'm down
100%,
with that because I've seen it.
Yeah. And I didn't even know it at the time.
Yeah.
Like I left that night.
Yeah.
Not. But
so did we. We just,
like what if?
We just like, oh yeah.
Sammy and I spoke
Good job,
about
Rochelle.
it after.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're powerful.
Yeah. She's powerful. She's amazing.
You're on it, babe.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Because I remember you saying something. I mean, obviously we were there for something else, and I thought I was there for something else. Obviously, God knew otherwise. And then you were like, "We're here about identity," and I'm like, "I know," and you're like, "Yeah, your identity," and I was like, "What?" I was so offended. One of my times I was going to leave, and because I was like, "No," and then Rochelle stepped in with the whole, tell God who you are, so many things. So
good.
So good. I when I look back, everything, goes back to that night. From that night,
Well, it all changed.
onward.
Yeah. The lie.
Yeah.
Went.
That lie of who I thought I was for 30 whatever years.
See, the lies,
The lies, man. And when you surrender that lie, which is what I did, then he was able to come in with the truth. And I know it was him because when Rochelle asked me to surrender all that I thought I was to him, and you guys were like, well, she was like, what does God say? Who does God say you are? And I remember having a thought about being a diamond, like precious, and I knew 100% that was not me. I'd never thought about myself like that, ever, So I was like, and that was that little like, wow, maybe this is real.
Yeah.
Maybe there's hope,
Wow. And so the last 4 years have been, 3 years.
Yeah.
The real deconstruct, reconstruct.
Yeah. Because when you have that moment like that, I can't ever go back.
That's true. You have changed from, there's been no more of that.
No, I haven't.
No, that's true.
Wanted to leave
that's
since that
true.
night. Maybe
That's
I've
amazing.
been at chapel for about, I think maybe 6 years.
Yeah.
But 4 years since that night happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I've been just, oh man, honestly, the woman that I'm with now, women I used to hate, and they know this. Just like my best friend.
Hang on. Did you ever hate Rochelle?
Nah, I didn't really know her enough.
Yeah, there's
I didn't
one
really
person.
know her enough.
There's one.
Oh, did everyone used to hate her?
Oh, no, I don't know of anyone who's hated her.
Oh.
Yeah. Nah. But I was just...
She's my second mum.
No, I actually didn't know Rochelle well enough, actually. I think,
you knew me more than
Rochelle. Yeah,
no
hated
wonder
you.
No wonder you hated me.
Yeah, I hated you.
I feel that. Yeah, I love the haters.
Line up, take a ticket.
I love the haters.
True.
I love the haters.
But love Rochelle.
Yeah.
Love you and Rochelle now. Love, and the women that I do life with, like literally 4 years ago, I would have laughed at you if you had said, these are the women you're going to be journeying through some tough times with. I just would have been like, no.
That's cool. Wow. And that's how it is anyway, because like you said, you're projecting, you see and you're like, whatever, you're full of rubbish.
And so now, because I think differently about who I am, I live differently, I make different choices, I You know?
It's weird, eh? It's so weird.
So weird.
And I'm saying it's weird because
you
know. I relate.
I know. Absolutely. Yeah.
I know. I relate.
Nah, you don't. I relate. Whatever. Choir boy over here.
I relate.
You get it, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're just so proud. I'm just so proud, eh?
Oh, thanks.
You know, I just like the fact that we're friends.
Yeah.
And we love one another.
Yeah. Me too.
And,
me too.
Yeah.
It's good.
The journey's hard for some people.
It's still hard.
Yeah, but
yeah.
You see the pain and you see the struggle.
Yeah.
But you still turn up.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's sort of half the battle.
Yeah.
You still turn up, and the moment will happen if you just keep turning up.
Yes.
That's true, hey.
Yes.
You know, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
people are like, it hasn't happened yet. Just keep turning up. It will happen.
I agree.
You know?
I mean, that was probably the last place I wanted to go that night. And even, you know, the things that Rochelle was asking me to do and what was happening, I was like, oh, this is, what is going on? And, you know, but when you just go, oh, all right, I'll do it. Trust the process.
Yeah, because it's not even about the thing.
No.
About what you're asked to do. Like, even that's surrender.
Yeah.
You know, Rochelle's just asking you to do something that's seemingly silly.
Yeah.
But there's actually power and just obedience.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy.
And that's it. You just, I went, okay, I'll do it. I'll give it all to him.
And how powerful is that?
Then look. And that's what he works with, eh?
Yeah.
You know, like all he needs is that you to go, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, you can have it.
Wow.
It's like, okay, that's all I need. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyway.
I think if you asked 100 people, I think a lot of them would come back to a similar moment. Like,
surrender, the moment of surrender.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, here it is. Take it, or, you know, please help, or whatever it is. So
that's true.
Powerful.
Desperate, eh? Like, or maybe not even desperate, but like I think about even saying yes to the Mormons. That was a moment of surrender. Like, I've got a good child now, and I need her to have a better life than me.
Right.
Like, you know, this is hopeless.
Yeah, and he's there in that. All of those were steps.
Yeah, well, that was part of the journey. Let's just get her in there and you know, and then if I hadn't have gone there, I wouldn't have gone to the next church. If I hadn't have gone there, I wouldn't have, you know.
And I'm like, there's still the prey on the vulnerable from my point of view.
There's still the what?
The prey on the vulnerable.
Oh, yeah, you know. Right. Yeah. There is that. Yeah. There is that too.
But
two sides. Yeah. I guess for me it was a good thing.
Everyone does it.
But everyone does it.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of denominations have their...
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we're like, don't tell anybody, shut the doors.
Let's just help the people that are here.
Yeah.
Let's see them, you know, healthy, following Christ, like fully following Christ.
Yeah.
You know, not works-based, although our good works display His goodness. We are set. He has prepared good deeds for us to do. Yeah. But it's got to come from that place of knowing who you are first.
Yeah, because then you don't
loved us.
You don't feed the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Feed your ego and feed, you know, the lies and all of that sort of stuff. So
that's why there's no positions. There's no, you know, any of that title stuff. Yeah. It's just you've got to anchored in Christ, who you are, and from that place of love and acceptance, we love to serve. No, there's nothing better than serving from that place because it's wholesome.
Yeah. And the message hasn't changed. You know, when I first came, it was sort your own relationship out with the Lord. Yeah. And it's still the same today. Yeah, it's still the same. You know? Yeah. So
we're not going anywhere.
It's hard, eh?
It's hard.
What's that? To sort your relationship out?
Yeah. But and it's hard to keep doing that and just keep, you know, there is no titles.
No.
You know, there is no, you're not better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
are you struggling,
I want to
Sam?
be, you know what I mean? Like,
do you need help?
At the moment, I need something. I'm tired.
You are the best podcast guy.
Oh,
but
way
I'm not.
good.
Nah, I'm
That's
not. That's not.
You're the top.
Yeah.
In here, I get it, guys. I get it. Out of us, I get it. But
God sees you, okay?
Okay. Sam, I want you to just surrender.
Surrender this to him.
Nah, but it never ends, right?
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't.
and it's awesome and it's beautiful. And we were, you know, talking to Sharon earlier and about the beautiful moments and about exchanging some of the.
That's it.
The rubbish.
It was a beautiful exchange that night.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And
but it never stops, you know. It gets easier. Sometimes it's harder. Sometimes it's easier.
I was thinking about driving here, and I was thinking about, God, what is it? And it's the getting free is the moment, but the living free is the part, the journey.
Yeah.
Like that, getting free is
awesome
there.
Yeah.
But the living free?
Yeah, because you might start to pick stuff up
totally,
along the way.
Totally. That's when the mindset, sort of, and the choices, it all comes down to choices.
Okay, so from that moment of exchange, it's still been like people might think, so that exchange is all easy.
Oh, and then life's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could say yes.
Okay, cool. So it's still been an intentional choice.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the discipline in your mind, the discipline in the
Well, from that exchange, and I don't know if you guys remember, you guys prayed over me about who I was, but God had already told me. Like, it wasn't just that you guys had prayed; He had already said to me this stuff. And so from there, it's just remembering that. So when I'd start to go, this or that, it's like, nah, you can't take away what happened. So it'll always come back to, no, this is how I see you.
Great.
No, this is how I see you. So I'll be like, okay, all right, then I can do it. Okay, then I'll make this choice. Okay, then I'll go here. Okay, then I'll not do this, or I'll do this. Do you know what I mean? So I think just going back to, and then when you have that relationship, when that door's been opened and you have that relationship, He's been speaking to me more about who I am and how He sees me and what He wants and all of that sort of stuff. So the relationship just gets more developed. And so, I mean, it's...
Is it still, like there's a sense, like there are times where you're tired and you want to give up, but...
all the time.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
All the time. Like today, like this week. Yeah. Yeah, I get tired.
But you're in too deep, eh? You can't walk away.
Nah.
Hey, it's like that. You just can't walk away.
I get tired all the time. I get overwhelmed all the time. I'm a single mum.
Wow.
Got a 21-year-old, an 18, 19-year-old, a 12-year-old. So it's huge, parenting decisions, work, just my own personal life. It's massive. I'm overwhelmed all the time. This week's been a particularly rough week.
Wow.
But yeah, you can't go back. I can't go back. It's like, it's almost, and I just sit down and have a cry to Him. But because that happened way back then, it's like, that's not moved.
I love that.
That's still the same.
Because there are times, I'm like, that's it. I'm
done.
I'm walking away. And he must sort of laugh because I can't.
That's what I think. I think he must, it's like a little Katrina.
He's like, where are you going to go?
I'm going to go far away from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Where you go?
Okay.
Oh, I can't. I love you, Lord.
That's it. That's it. So I have that moment. I have those moments with Him too. Just cry to Him, and this is so hard. It's like, it is. But I'm here.
But He's our strength, eh? Like,
yeah. And sometimes it's just a reminder. Like today, I got reminded. Rough week, had a bit of a cry, a bit of a moan, and today I was sitting there, and He just, like, you've been trying to do everything in your own strength again, not like condemnation, just like remember. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry.
Can you hook me up?
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you sort this out for me?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's probably like,
surrender again. Surrender again.
Wow, that's big.
So
that's big. That's awesome. Well, we so love you, so appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Love your family.
Yeah.
Your girls.
Yeah.
Thanks for being honest and
thanks. So this was good. I was super nervous about. I was like,
about
Sam,
me.
what's he gonna ask?
I'm easy.
Nah, because you just go there, man. You just go. There's like no barriers with you, eh? Like no.
That's only when I'm face to face with you. When there's people, but people are listening.
Oh yeah.
What are you looking up there for?
They're listening. There's people everywhere.
Oh wow.
I don't know why I'm looking up there. But yeah.
Beautiful.
Love you, eh?
Yeah.
And thanks for just being you and doing your thing.
Yeah.
Like, because you are just like a better word, you are a thug. You know, you just, but you even
Come
when
on,
you
man.
were going
After
through this
this
stuff.
long,
Sorry.
you're still talking thug.
I'm learning. Well, it's just, I'm just being me.
Yeah.
You are amazing. And even when you weren't feeling it, you stuck through it, you know, for your girls and for you. And our community is stronger and better because of you and you in it.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, I'm better because of our community, so that works out great.
We need one another.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And we've got to stay, not worried about mess.
Yeah.
Hey, we just got to stay there.
Yeah.
Like mess
is
good. Because
it's real, eh?
It's real.
It's real.
We just have to stay there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there are sometimes when you're a mess and I'm not, so I hold you. I'm a mess and you're not, you know what I mean? We're not all messy at the same time. No. So when you're a mess, you've got the people who are holding you and then they're a mess and then we hold them. Like I think that's the good thing about when you hold someone when they're messy, you're like, oh, I can be messy now.
Yes.
Because, you know?
Yeah, and they've seen my mess. You know, it's humbling, man. It's actually, but that's how we're supposed to live.
And that's a family.
That's a
family. Community. That's how it operates.
Oh, you know? How messy. Yeah, but it's good.
So good.
So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll promise to work on my vocabulary for the next time. Okay?
Thank you.
Thug.